Hi, I'm Darren Cook of Big Stick Combat. My preference is not to grapple, but if you are grappling, I'd like to just share with you a couple of thoughts. Grappling is probably the very first martial art, or probably the oldest martial art that's ever existed. For instance, the Japanese sumo is based on a very, very old Japanese system, and everything else, the judo, the jiu-jitsu, the aikido, the early sumo techniques, they all originated from that art. But what happens over time is that the wrestling went from a combat sport where you lived or died to combat art and a method to a sport. And what happens is that everything that's dangerous, which of course on the street is what you want. If your life is threatened, you've got to hurt people. So, but the problem is that too many sporting events to make it safe, they've taken those techniques out. So just a couple, some food for thought. Judo has these throws here. One is a sweep, or another one, I believe they call this a knee wheel. So what I'm going to do, basically I'm going to throw him, and I'm going to use that foot to stop him. And if you see them do it, it's very beautiful. The person does a cartwheel over the knee. To modify this, my technique sucks. So remember, when my technique sucks, I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to throw this kick. I'm going to throw that oblique kick. Maybe he's probably not going to do the beautiful cartwheel. But then again, it doesn't matter. So maybe he decides he didn't want to get thrown. It doesn't matter. I'm going to jam that into his knee. I'm going to jam that into the ankle and shin. But it's very simple. What in sport judo was the propping foot, I'm going to turn this into a kicking strike here. That's my throw. Another interesting one, Japanese, the uchimata. And what happens here is that I throw this leg back. It's something like a sweep. That leg is a fulcrum, and then I use that to throw it. The original combat version of this is actually, it's a groin attack. I'm going to move in, jam that. I'm aiming straight for his crotch. So I'm going to jam my hip and that thigh right into his crotch. Maybe he throws, maybe he doesn't. But the point is, I'm going straight in with a violent attack to his groin in this here. So even if my technique is sloppy, even if he's stronger than I am, even if I've got bad hips or bad knees, that gives me the edge. So again, there's just something for you to think about, ways to kind of roughen up those techniques so they're effective on the street.